And in the main event, the cherry on top, if you will, we have the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong taking on the War Raiders, Pete Dunne, and Ricochet in WarGames.
This is just going to be super crazy. And
Dude.
I'm not talking about the wrestler.
Interestingly, there's one less guy in this match than last year. But last year it was 3 teams of 3.
Yeah.
This year it's 2 teams of 4. So I like immediately that there's versatility to it, which leads me to believe that they're not forcing a team to happen. You know what I mean?
What do you mean by that?
Because last year Roderick Strong teamed with AOP.
Oh, yes.
Which was weird. Not in a bad way, it was just weird.
And they came out in like the gear. They all had the gear on.
He wore the gear. But that was to lay the groundwork for him to eventually join Undisputed Era, so I get it. I'm just saying at the time it was a little strange. This time around, they've somehow managed to keep this feud with multiple people alive. Like, because the Undisputed Era has feuded with all 4 of those guys separate from one another, but now they're together.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And that's just good storytelling.
That's just great. It's great storytelling. How the fact that it's been going, because this has kind of been simmering. All of these feuds have been simmering. They've been adding little wrinkles here and there, but I mean, the brawl that they had on NXT and like the lot backstage was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And that makes me super excited to see, like, specifically what War Raiders do in this match, but really all of them, because all 8 of these guys are some of the most creative superstars in WWE today.
I agree.
So they are going to come up with some wild stuff. Because War Raiders' moveset is unlike anything I've ever seen from tag teams.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
They fast tag, and they're just crushing opponents with huge double team power moves. And now they've got 2 other teammates, one of whom will pull your fingers from the bone, and the other one can almost literally fly. So I'm just excited to see what they're able to come up with. They got 2 rings and a cage to work with. It's going to be absolutely bananas.
And this is like the first time that we're actually getting to see Undisputed Era at full power. You know, we're getting all 4 of them as a unit.
In one match together at the same time. And with no tagging.
No.
They're all just going to be
it's tornado
unleashed.
tag rules.
Yeah.
So,
We've never seen Undisputed Era other than
the trio.
backstage brawls
Yeah.
and you know, or in trios matches or that kind of thing. So finally, all 4 of them 100% healthy, ready to go. I'm super stoked for that.
And they won last year, so
they did.
It's going to be interesting to see like how they carry that into the match and who has the advantage for how long and stuff like that. And I'd honestly be happy either way with either team winning.
Definitely.
Just like to circle back real quick, imagine the wild stuff that Ricochet and the War Raiders are going to do here.
They're going to use him as his body as a weapon. They're going to, like, one of them's just going to pick him up by the ankles and use him to clobber somebody.
Is he going to like 630 off the cage into the ring?
He maybe
into everyone.
Okay, into everyone. That would change because I think the only issue with him doing a 630 from the top of the cage into the ring is speed and rotation versus where the ground is.
Yeah.
But if everybody's standing up and they catch him, it would be a really cool spot, and he would be able to actually complete the move and not hurt himself. So yeah, I'm all for that.
Oh man, this is gonna be nuts. Just the sheer thought, of all 8 of these guys in 2 rings with 1 cage.
Imagine like Pete Dunne somehow secludes one of the Undisputed Era to like the corner somewhere, and he just is pulling this guy apart piece by piece, and the other 3 of his team are keeping the Undisputed Era from saving that guy. And Dunn's just torturing him in the corner, and he can't get rescued.
I'm picturing him like he's like feeding their fingers through the cage and like pulling on
and
them.
like snapping them back and stuff.
Oh my god. And then he just hits a gigantic suplex.
Right. And then like War Raiders are like standing in the way so they can't get to him. And I just imagine the camera quick zooming in on on Adam Cole's face as he tries to save Roderick Strong, we'll say. Yeah. Like his face just like, no, like his face, the way that he sells his face is fantastic.
The entire Undisputed Era is fantastic at selling.
Yeah.
So,
and I guess this is as good a time to point out as any that anytime I look at Bobby Fish, I really wish he had a British accent and wasn't just Florida the Man.
Yeah, it's still weird to me, like, because he'll go to talk and you'll be like, wait, what? He doesn't live at Hogwarts? Because like with a mustache like that.
I know there's an air of Britain to him, and he doesn't even have it a little bit, and that made me sad the first time I heard him talk.
Like, I wonder if like people from the UK look at certain guys and they're like, well, he just looks like he'd have an American accent.
Oh man, he's just so American, and then he talks and he's got a brogue, and they're like, ugh. Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know if there's somebody like that for you. So I have Undisputed Era winning their 2nd straight WarGames match.
That's cool. But I'm going to have to disagree with you here on the one match on NXT where we're disagreeing. I got to go with Ricochet, Pete Dunne, and the War Raiders.
That's fair. I mean, it could go either way. I think that Undisputed Era being a real team going into it is what's going to be the deciding factor here eventually.
Okay. I mean, I just see the face team standing tall to close the show.
Okay. But, like, you can't even really say that because Undisputed Era isn't necessarily... like, they are a heel team, but are they a heel team?
Yeah, I mean...
Like, when's the last time a team was supposed to be heel and people didn't treat them as heels? Like, in my head, it's like NWO and Undisputed Era. Like, that's the level that they get cheered. They're not supposed to.
Because they're just too cool for school.
They're just too cool for school. How do you argue with that air guitar?
Or the Adam Cole baby.
Yeah. Boom! Like, everybody loves that.
Oh, their entrance music is the best.
Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite entrance musics in WWE today.
Yeah.
But that's WarGames, dude.
Yeah.
That is NXT TakeOver WarGames.